Are you maybe a student trying to sound a bit more natural when you speak English? Ever wondered how you could, describe your college struggles, but maybe in a fun way? Do you want to boost your classroom conversations with some real world phrases? You're listening to Crystal Clear English Podcast, Learn English the Crystal Clear Way. Now, in our last episode, we explored 10 must know idioms for daily English conversations. If you missed it, definitely go check out Daily Idioms Episode 1. It's a really great starting point for your journey with everyday expressions. So, welcome. Today, we're diving into something super relevant for many of you, common idioms related to school and college life. Our goal here is simple: help you understand others better and, crucially, sound more like a native speaker when you're talking about your academic experiences. These are phrases you'll genuinely hear, in classrooms, maybe in dorms, study groups, all over campus, really.
Exactly. And it's fascinating, isn't it, how language kind of evolves in specific environments, like academia. It creates its own sort of shorthand.
Yeah.
And mastering these idioms, well, it's pretty essential for truly blending in and expressing yourself naturally. It's more than just words. It's about understanding the culture.
Absolutely. It's like learning the secret code almost, a way to really connect. So let's jump right in. The first one is an absolute classic, especially if you've ever faced a big exam. Hit the books. Okay,
Right.
so hit the books. It basically means to begin studying seriously, like really focus.
Right. And what's key here is the why it's effective. It's not just opening a book. It implies a real intensity, a sudden shift to focused effort. Often there's a sense of urgency. You're studying the priority.
That makes total sense. It's that deliberate action. So you might say, I have an exam tomorrow, so I really need to hit the books tonight, buckle down. Or you could describe someone who's always prepared. She hits the books every weekend to stay ahead in class. It shows dedication. Okay, and that kind of intense study often leads to our next one, especially under pressure: pull an all-nighter.
Ah, yes. The all-nighter means staying awake all night, usually studying or maybe finishing a big project. And the interesting thing is the feeling associated with it. It's obviously exhausting, right? But sometimes there's also this strange sense of accomplishment or even bonding if you do it with a group. It's like an academic marathon.
Yeah, that weird mix of pain and pride. So true. You might hear someone say, we pulled an all-nighter to finish the group project, captures that shared struggle. Or talking about someone else, he always pulls all-nighters before final exams, paints a vivid picture of their study habits. All right, let's shift gears from intense study to starting something new. Idiom number 3, learn the ropes.
Learn the ropes. This means basically to understand how something works, especially when you're new. And it's not just for school, is it? It applies to, well, any new situation, a new job, moving to a new city. It's about figuring out the procedures, the unspoken rules, how things are really done, getting comfortable in a new system.
Definitely. Super useful when you first land on a big college campus, for example. You might find yourself saying, it took me a few weeks to learn the ropes at my new college. Covers everything from finding classes to the social scene. Or you might see older students helping out. The seniors help the freshmen learn the ropes during orientation, guiding them through that initial, maybe confusing phase. Okay, now for a much happier outcome after all that hard work. Success. Idiom number 4, pass with flying colors.
Oh, I like this one. Pass with flying colors means you did really, really well on a test or some kind of task. Exceptionally well. The imagery is great, isn't it? Like a ship sailing into harbor with all its flags flying, signaling victory. It perfectly captures that feeling of triumph, of real achievement. Not just passing, but absolutely nailing it, exceeding expectations.
It really does. Such a positive, vibrant phrase. You'd proudly say something like, she passed her final exams with flying colors. Really emphasizes how well she did. Or maybe he was nervous, but he passed the interview with flying colors. Shows they overcame the nerves and impressed everyone.
All right, our fifth idiom is kind of related to studying late, maybe a bit like pulling an all-nighter,
Yeah.
but slightly different. Burn the midnight oil.
Yes. Burn the midnight oil. This also means studying or working late into the night. But where pull an all-nighter means staying up literally all night, burning the midnight oil often suggests working very late, consistently, but maybe not until dawn. It really speaks to dedication, that sustained hard work, putting in extra hours regularly to meet goals. It's about diligence. That's a great distinction. It's less about one desperate night and more about consistent effort, right? So you could say, I had to burn the midnight oil to complete my essay, showing you put in significant time. Or describing someone's work ethic. She often burns the midnight oil before project deadlines. It implies it's a regular habit for her. Okay, let's move into our next set of 5 idioms. These touch on different student behaviors and situations, starting with one you might hear whispered about: cut class.
Cut class. Pretty straightforward it means to skip school or skip a specific class without permission. What's interesting, though, are the reasons behind it. Sometimes it's just, kids wanting to hang out. But other times it might be because they're struggling or bored or feeling overwhelmed. It's common, but usually has consequences, like missing a pop quiz or important info.
Yeah, definitely a common phrase. You might hear, they cut class to go to the mall. Just a simple choice. Or maybe someone says with regret, I regret cutting class yesterday. We had a surprise test. Ouch. Happens, though. Okay, next one describes a specific student-teacher dynamic. Can be a bit loaded sometimes. Teacher's pet.
Ah, the teacher's pet. This is a student who, well, is clearly liked by the teacher and seems to try really hard to please them. It really highlights the social dynamics in a classroom, doesn't it? How students perceive each other. Being called a teacher's pet can be seen differently by different people, sometimes admiration, sometimes less positively. It touches on favoritism and social standing among peers.
So true. It's a label you hear a lot. For example, he's the teacher's pet because he always does his homework early, explains the perception. Or showing the other side, some students think being a teacher's pet is uncool, captures that social pressure. All right, let's get back to success. Another way to talk about doing really well. Idiom number 8, ace a test.
Ace a test. Simple, powerful. Means you got a perfect score, or at least a very, very high one. An A or A plus ache. It really conveys confidence, doesn't it? That feeling of mastery. You didn't just pass. You absolutely nailed it. It's that feeling of knowing your stuff and proving it, a real confidence booster.
Absolutely. You definitely want to shout, I studied hard and aced my math test. Shows the effort paid off brilliantly. Or describing someone who's consistently good. She always aces her science quizzes. It just highlights their excellence. Okay, the next one is, well, it's a bit more serious. It describes a big decision. Drop out.
Yeah, drop out. This means leaving school or college before you finish your studies or get your degree. And, people drop out for all sorts of reasons. There's not always a negative thing necessarily. Sometimes it's to pursue a great job or business idea. Sometimes it's financial pressure or maybe a lack of support.
hmm
Or just realizing it wasn't the right path.
It's a significant turning point. It certainly is a major decision. You might hear, he dropped out of college to start his own business. That's pursuing a different dream. Or, more sadly, many students drop out when they don't get support, which highlights bigger issues sometimes. It marks a real change in someone's life path. And finally, our 10th idiom. This one is often used with a bit of humor or maybe sarcasm. Crack a book.
Crack a book literally means to open a book to study.
Uh-huh.
But it's almost always used in the negative, isn't it? Usually it implies someone didn't study, like you didn't even crack a book.
Really?
It often suggests surprise that someone passed without studying, or it's used to emphasize that someone needs to study. It highlights a lack of effort. Sometimes it's judgment, sometimes just astonishment.
That negative spin is key, you're right. Like you said, he didn't crack a book all semester and still passed. How did that happen? Luck. Genius. Or as advice, you won't learn anything if you don't crack a book. A bit blunt, maybe, but true. It underlines the need to actually study. Wow, okay, so that's 10 idioms. Thinking back on them, hit the books, ace a test, learn the ropes. It's really clear how much these phrases are part of the academic world. Using them can definitely help you sound more natural, more involved in those conversations. The main thing now, practice. Try using them. Sprinkle them into your English conversations. That consistent use is really how you master them. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Crystal Clear English podcast. Next time, we'll dive into idioms used in the workplace. Our topic is idioms at work. Idioms you'll hear in the office. So, if you want to speak more naturally with your colleagues or maybe your boss, definitely don't miss it. Thank you for listening to the Crystal Clear English podcast.
And a final thought. Learning another language is like becoming another person. I really like that quote because it touches on something profound about language learning, doesn't it? When you learn these idioms, these nuances, you're not just learning vocabulary. You're actually gaining new ways to see the world, new perspectives. You're expanding who you are. It's quite a transformation.